Good afternoon and welcome to the 2021 Certified Organics Executive Briefing. My name is Tony Dorn, and today I will share with you the results of the 2021 Organic Survey. First, I would like to thank all the producers who respond to this survey to make these results possible. Also, thank you to our cooperator on this project, the USDA Risk Management Agency, and to the other federal, state, and regional partners who support organic foods, and the NASS team who helped produce these results. For our live streaming audience, please be aware that the federal statistical agencies are guided to provide information in a variety of different formats. And this briefing is intended to be one more avenue to explain the data today. Well, we will not be taking questions during the live stream. NASS staff are available for email or phone questions. As always, contact information is available on the NASS website. We strive to have everything presented in this briefing match the official records. However, should there be any discrepancy with what is presented in this briefing and the published estimates, always refer to the official published estimates. Looking at the big picture, the 2021 organics release is a census of all known operations with certified or transitioning organic production in the United States. The sources for the sampling frame were producers identified as certified organic or transitioning to organic certification in NASS's list and the AMS National Organic Program list of farms. This release includes data at the commodity level for acreage, production, and sales for organic crop and livestock commodities, as well as marketing and production practices, crop insurance usage, production expenses, and acres transitioning into organic production. Also, all United States were included in this release. As far as response rates, like previous years, in 2021, the majority of respondents responded by mail, 39%. Phone responses were second with 34%, while online responses with 20%, and 7% were from field enumeration. Looking at the big picture, taking a look at certified organic farms, a steady increase continued in 2021. There were over 17,000 organic farms in 2021, an increase of 5% from 2019. As the chart on the right shows, there has been a steady trend in the increase in the number of organic farms since 2008. As far as the total certified organic land, 2021 showed similar results from 2016 with 4.9 million acres, an 11% decrease from 2019. Organic cropland remained strong at over 3.6 million acres, a 3% increase from 2019. Organic pasture and rangeland decreased over 30%, which follows a decreasing trend since the peak in 2016. As you can see on the bar chart on the right, acreages have varied over time. Considering the top 5 states as far as the number of organic farms, California remains the top state with over 3,000 farms. The comparison bar shows California's impact compared to other states. Wisconsin and New York were second and third place, both with over 1,400 farms. Pennsylvania is fourth with over 1,100 farms, and Ohio rounded out the top 5. Iowa, Washington, Indiana, Vermont, and Minnesota rounded out the top 10. Most states increased in the number of farms from 2019. Considering the top states as far as land, California is also the top state with almost 1 million acres. New York, Montana are second and third, both with over 300,000 acres. Wisconsin, Texas, Oregon, Idaho, and Vermont all have over 200,000 acres. Colorado and Iowa round out the top 10. There was a decrease in organic land in California, which led to the overall decrease in the United States. Diving deeper into the top states by sales, California was the clear leader at over $3.5 billion in sales. Washington and Pennsylvania are next with over $1 billion in organic sales. The rest of the states are fairly close together, with Texas, Oregon, New York, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Michigan, and Colorado rounding out the top states. While sales in California decreased slightly, sales in Washington, Pennsylvania, and Texas showed strong increases. In order to get a geographical idea of organic sales by states, we can see how the leading areas are the Pacific Coast with California as a leader and Washington second in sales. The Northeast and Great Lakes are also strong areas for organic sales with Pennsylvania, New York, Wisconsin, and Michigan also in the top 10. These top 10 states account for 73% of the organic sales in the United States. As far as the market value of certified products sold, all categories increased from 2019. Crop sales were over $6 billion, an increase of 6%. Livestock and poultry sales were almost $2.2 billion, up 32%. Livestock and poultry products, which consist mostly of organic milk and eggs, totaled almost $2.9 billion, an increase of 15% over 2019. Total sales of organics was $11.2 billion, an increase of 13% from 2019. Now turning to sales by top commodities, we see that milk is the largest commodity with over $1.6 billion in sales. Broilers and eggs are second and third, each with over $1 billion in sales. Apples and corn are next with over $400 million each. Strawberries, cattle, and grapes have over $300 million in sales. Lettuce and soybeans round out the top 10 commodities. Looking at the change in sales of the top 10 commodities, we see that only grapes and lettuce decreased from 2019 to 2021, but all other commodities increased. At over $1.6 billion, milk increased 3% from 2019. Broilers, eggs, apples, and corn all increased over 30% from 2019. Strawberries and cattle had moderate single-digit increases. Lastly, soybeans increased, but were at a level of sales similar to 2016. Now turning to just the crop commodities, we can see that the sales ranges are fairly close, with apples being the top commodity with over $600 million. Corn, strawberries, grapes, and lettuce round out the top 5 categories in sales. As far as changes from 2019 to 2021, we see that all the top crop commodities except grapes and lettuce increased. As mentioned in the previous slide, soybeans had a strong increase in sales. Sales of all crop commodities were over $6.1 billion, an increase of 6% over 2019. Now turning to top livestock, poultry, and livestock products in sales, we see that milk, broilers, and eggs are the top 3 commodities, all with over $1.2 billion in sales. Cattle and turkeys round out the top organic livestock commodities. Sales of all livestock commodities and all livestock products were over $5 billion, an increase of 22% from 2019. As far as changes from 2019, all the top organic livestock and livestock products increased. Milk increased 3% from 2019, where broilers and eggs increased over 30% each. Now shifting to top organic marketing practices, as shown by the instructions on the questionnaire at the top, data were collected for edible agricultural products for human consumption, but products that were resold were excluded. In the table, we see that direct-to-retail markets and institutions and direct-to-consumer sales were both marketed by over 3,000 farms. Value-added products were marketed by almost 1,500 farms. What stands out in the right column is that direct-to-retail markets and institutions had a much larger portion, over $2 billion in sales, than direct-to-consumer sales, even with almost the same number of farms. Value-added products had over $700 million in sales. Now looking at the top organic production practices, by the number of farms, we see that the top production practices were fairly consistent. The top production practice was buffer strips or border rows to isolate organics at almost 11,000 farms. The rest of the top production practices were used by over 6,000 farms. Comparing 2021 to 2019, we see that all the top production practices increased in 2021, except applying manure, which was down slightly. Use of no-till or minimum till increased the most from 2019. Now we'll take a look at the major challenges for certified organic farms based on the percent of farms. As you can see, price issues and especially market access challenges decreased from 2019, with market access challenges dropping 20%. Other challenges that producers faced remain similar to 2019. Considering the future production plans for certified organic farms, there wasn't much change. Most farms plan to maintain the current level of production in the future, 44%, which is unchanged from 2019. As far as transitioning land on certified organic farms, both farms and acres of land transitioning decreased from 2019. So while the increase of organic land will continue to increase in the future, it is increasing at a slower rate. There was a 16% decrease in certified farms with transitioning land from 2019 to 2021 at over 1,500 farms. Both acres of cropland and acres of pasture and rangeland had double-digit decreases from 2019. This follows the trend in a decrease in organic land. Turning to non-certified farms with transitional land, we see that there were over 650 farms and over 62,000 acres of transitional land on non-certified farms. Most of the land, over 45,000 acres, is cropland, and over 16,000 acres is pasture and rangeland. While the number of non-certified farms with transitional land decreased 7% from 2019, acres increased 2%. The increase in land was driven by a 15% increase in cropland, even though there was a 21% decrease in pasture and rangeland. Now we'll take a look at organic farms by sales class. The sales class of less than $10,000 had the fewest percentage of farms at 11%. The sales class of $10,000 to $99,000 had the highest percent of farms at 39%. The largest sales class, $500,000 or more, represents 18% of the farms. As far as percent of sales, the sales classes below $500,000 accounted for a small portion of sales, but the largest sales class of $500,000 or more had the vast majority of sales at 86%. This is the general contact information, and thank you for attending the briefing today.